Let's see the next concept, 2D collection framework. So in 2D collection framework, we have seen the interfaces, map, sorted map, and we have seen the navigable map. Let's see the implementation classes for all these map interface. So implementation classes for map interface. Map interface. So we have 5 to 6 implementation classes for the map. So one is HashMap, and linked hash map, and tree map, and hash table, and we have concurrent hash map, and we have weak hash map, we have identity hash map. Let's see all these maps one by one. First, we'll be seeing the hash map. Okay, so let's see the hash map. Hash map. Okay, so hash map. Let me increase the font size. Okay, fine. So hash map. This hash map is not a thread safe, which means that thread safe, not a thread safe in the sense, which means that multiple threads can able to access the hash map object simultaneously. So as because the hash map is not thread safe, the performance of the hash map is increased. So the hash map, similarly, like whatever the characteristics, whatever the features the map interface is taking it, the same interfaces the hash map is also taking it. So hash map doesn't take duplicate keys, duplicate keys, but it will take duplicate values. Values can be duplicated. Okay. Hash map take okay. So hash map take null value. Okay. And the other characteristics, duplicate keys, yeah. And it will be storing the data in the form of key value page. So these are the some characteristics and how it is going to display the data. So in which format it is going to display the data. So we don't know in which order it is going to display the data. It is similar to the hash set. So in hash set, we can't understand how it is going to how it is going to display the data, right? Maybe we have seen the example on hash set as well. So in whatever order we have added the data, it is not going to display in the same order. So we can say that it will be displaying the data in undetermined format. Undetermined format. So these are some characteristics of the hash map, and we have a constructors available in a hash map to create an object of a hash map. Okay, so hash map, which will be taking the capacity as a parameter, and capacity as a parameter. Hash map will also take the collection as a parameter. Collection as a parameter. So if you want to create an object of hash map, what you have to do? You have to use any one of these constructor. Okay, the constructor one is used to create an object of hash map with the default constructor. Okay, constructor 2 is used to create an object of hash map by giving some capacity, like what is the size of the hash map you want to create. You can directly give it over here. Okay, when you're using the constructor one, the default capacity is 16 only. Okay, and we are using the constructor 3. If you want to if you have a collection, if you want to copy the data without adding a data to the hash map, if you want to copy the data from the other collection, so you can use the third constructor. Okay, so let's see a real-time scenario on this hash map. Okay, so I have created a separate package for this collection actually. So let me go and create. Okay. So as I have created using the number, the first name should the package name should starts with the character. Okay, I'll be giving the CFW 2D CFW. Cool. So now let's go and create a class. So let's say I'll be creating a uh, two-dimensional collection framework client application. Okay. So inside this, what I'll do is I'll be writing a main. It is taking some time. Main method. So now what I'll do is I'll be creating an object of a hash map. Okay. You can use hash map to create an object. You can use a default constructor to create an object of hash map. Hash map equals to new hash map. Okay. So this hash map will be taking key value pair, right? So I'll take key name as string, name as I'll be taking the key as a string and value as I'll be taking the value as long. Okay, string string. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll give this as a contacts. I'll be changing the object name as contacts. Contacts. Okay, contacts dot put. So if you want to add an element in a hash map, you have to use a method called put. So put will be taking two parameters, string key and the value as a long. Okay. Okay. Whatever the generic you have added, the same generic it is going to take. First, for key, it is taking string. For value, it is taking as a long. So you have to give string and a long. So let me give the name as some David. And I'll be giving his contact number as 9848022338. Okay, let's say this is his contact number. Okay, let me copy and let me add the multiple persons. I'll be giving this as a John. I'll change the contact number to 48. David. I'll change the contact number to 58. Sachin. I'll change the contact number to 88. Okay, so these many contacts we have added. Okay, so now let's display this hash map. Okay, so what I said, hash map, we are not sure how the hash map is going to display the data, which is an undetermined format. It is going to display the data. So whatever the in whatever way you have added the data, it is not in the same way it is going to display the data. So it will be displaying the data in undetermined format. Okay, let's see that. Let's run the hash map. Okay, it's running and see. So the data which we are seeing over here is, so this is first we have added David, but it is showing the first entry as Dravid. Then we have added John. Second, it is showing John itself. Third, Dravid, and it is showing as Sachin. And then after last is Sachin, here it is showing as Dravid. So hash map will not give guarantee. Okay, whatever the data you are going to add, in the same manner, it is not going to display the data. Okay, so there will be internally hash map will be calculating the hash code for all these keys. Okay, so once the hash code is calculated for these keys, then only it will decide which key and its respected value will be going to store in what index. Okay. So fine. That's good. So yeah, if you want to retrieve the data, we have a context dot and we have a get. 1 minute. Yeah. Get of, you have to give the key. So what the key value you have to give? For example, I want to get the details of Sachin. So I'll give Sachin, and this should return the response as the phone number of Sachin. Okay. So it should return some response. I'll directly display contact number of Sachin is, let's concatenate it. Okay, fine. Let me run this one. Let's see whether we are getting the data or not. Okay, we are getting the data. Contact number of Sachin is so and so. Okay, so in this way, we are adding the data and we are retrieving the data by passing the key. Okay, fine. So let's see the next example. So here what I'll do is I'll be taking a custom class. So where I'll be, inserting the uh, key as a string and value as a some integer or something. Okay, let's see that. First, what I'll do is I'll be taking a different class. Let's say I'll be taking a class called person or a user. Okay, a user is a one. So every user will be having the user ID, or I'll be taking the email ID as a parameter, user email ID, private string, name of the user, private string, address. Okay. So let me, I want to, when I enter, when I ask the user, when I give the email ID as a key, okay. So it should retrieve the user details, all these user details, name and address and all. Okay, based on your email ID, and you should be able to get the respected employee details. Let's see how we will do that. So let's generate the setters and getters for this one. User ID, name and address. Let's do that. How to do? Right click on your user.class and generate, click on generate, go to the setters and getters, generate the setters and getters, select all, control A, select all, press OK. So it will be generating the setters and getters for your user email ID, name and address. Okay. So our next step is we have to create our client application. So where user ID would be a key and the employee would be a value. Okay. So let's do that. Let's go and write an example on this one. So user client app. Okay. So main hash map. So hash map equals to new hash map. Now in this hash map, I'm going to store the employee details where a key is the string and the value is an employee object. Sorry, not an employee. Sorry, user object. Okay. So let me import this user class. That's cool. So now I'll say hash map dot put. If you want to add an element to a hash map, so you'll be using a put because it is a 2D one. So it is taking the key. So what is the key I want to give? I want to give the username as the key. So let me give the username as the key. I'll say user dot. We have to do one thing. I'll create an object of user. User goes to new user. User dot. First we have to get ready with the user details. Then only we can able to do that. So user dot set name, user dot set email ID. We'll be doing that, and user dot set address. It is also string. So I'll be giving this address as a Bangalore, and this will be giving as email ID as srinivas@gmail.com. The username is, let's say, Srini. Okay. What? The user email ID is okay. It is an integer I have given, but I have to change it to long. Sorry, string. Because email ID could not be a integer. Okay, it should be a string. So let me change it. So now it's fine now. Now here it will be returning the user ID as a string. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll say user dot get email ID as a key, and we will be passing the user details as a value. Okay. Similarly, you can create multiple users and you can add these users to HashMap. Say this is user one, user one, user one, user one. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll say HashMap dot put of user one dot get email ID, and I'll be giving the user one. Okay. So user one details are different. I'll give Mohan. Here also I'll give Mohan. So it's from LA. Okay. Okay, fine. So now what I'll do is I'll be displaying the hash map. So I'll say hash map. So what it will give? It will be giving the reference of the user. It will be giving the user ID. User ID. Okay. So that is your email ID, and it will be email ID equals to the user. The user details. The user details are like kept in a reference. Okay, you can see that alphanumeric value you will be getting it. See here, why you are getting alphanumeric value? So for this is the user ID. For this user ID, these are the user details. So here you are getting the alphanumeric value. You are getting the reference. So but I don't want to get the reference. What I'll do? I have to override the toString method. So or I have to add the toString method. Okay, I have to add the toString method. So where I have to add the toString method in my user class, I have to add the toString method. So by doing this, what we are telling is, so whenever we are trying to get the user details, you have to show the user details. Okay, you have to show the user details data. What exactly it is storing. Instead of instead of showing this, reference, you should be giving the user email ID, name, and address. Okay, let me go and run this client application. Run as user client application. Let's see now what it will be showing. See, before it was showing, before we gave this toString method, it was returning some reference. Now what it is doing, it is giving the user details. See, mohan@gmail.com is a key, and this key is having the details of the user. So who is the user? Mohan@gmail.com, and Mohan LA is the user. Okay, if I don't want to give this email ID, so what I have to do? I have to override the user email ID. That's it. So now it will be showing only the name and the address only. You can see here, name and address only. Fine. Okay. So now we are trying to, now here what we are doing is we are creating an object of scanner, and we are trying to, read the, key value from the, from our console. Okay. So, and we are trying to get the user based on the email ID. Okay, so let's see. Let's read the value user dot scanner dot next line. Okay, why I'm using next line is, so next line, if we are giving the spaces as well, next line will take that. Okay, next method will not take the space. Okay, so I'll be taking this to user email. Okay, so now what I'll do is, based on this user email, I'll be getting the user details. So we have a method in HashMap. We have a method called get, which will be taking the key as a parameter. So now we will be passing the user email address key, and this will return the user details. user details. So let's show this. Let's print this user details. So I'll say user details. Okay, fine. So what I have done over here, until now we have added the user details. Now what I want to do is I want to retrieve the user based on the email ID. So I'll be using a scanner to read the input from my console. Okay. I'll be passing that whatever the value which I have read, I'll be passing to the get method, which will be returning the, value of that key. Okay. So let's run this one. So enter the user details. You enter the email ID. I'll be saying Mohan at gmail.com. So it is returning the user details. So you are passing a key. It is returning the value for that key. Okay, got it. So uh, this is an example on the custom objects using a hash map. Okay, okay, fine then. So we'll see the next collection in the next video.